next video. This video will be part 1 of a 2-part series, and it's going to be a honeymoon bungalow. It is an over-the-water kind of stilts inspired house that I know a lot of people, book for their honeymoons. It's become popular in the last few years to have like an over-the-water house. But I decided to make it in The Sims so that your Sims can enjoy a really relaxing honeymoon vacation. With that being said, I did use some inspiration from Pinterest for the back side of this build, just to kind of get a shape going and a layout made. And this one has a lot of balconies. So it has a top balcony, a bottom balcony, a bathroom balcony, and a lower balcony, with a little bit of a front porch area, but not too much. I kind of make it a little bit smaller in the end. But I do really love all of the outdoor space this house has to offer. Obviously, when you go on vacation and you're going somewhere tropical, you want to spend as much time outside as possible, and I really took that into mind with this build. So I decided to really keep a lot of the outdoor living spaces just very, just filled with a lot to do. So there's a bar, there's table tennis, chess, there's some area to swim in the ocean. So there's lots to do in this house, and I feel like your Sims will just have the most fun time ever visiting this property. So as we're getting into the layout, it's starting to look like more of what it'll actually turn out to be. I started off building something, and then I ended up finding a picture online, so I went off of that instead and just kind of switched up the whole layout. But I wanted there to be this divided deck area on the bottom so that the bathroom had its own separate balcony for an outdoor tub, which, doesn't that sound amazing? I feel like my dream house has to include an outdoor tub because I love taking baths, but I feel like to take a proper bath, you should have a really good view. So you can just sit and kind of I usually just kind of chill in the bath and use it as my relaxing time. So having a bathtub with a view is just really the epitome of just my dream. Like I just really want a bathtub with a view, guys. And I feel like The Sims is so fun for the fact that you get to build all these dream houses that you're never really going to get to ever stay in, but you get to just imagine what it would be like. You can pretend like you're on vacation when you put your Sim, in the house and you're doing all the fun stuff. You can pretend. It's kind of fun. So I really like that about The Sims, and this one is definitely my dream vacation home. It includes a home gym, which, if you know me, I love working out and I love fitness, so I had to include that in this house, as well as a really cool office area upstairs and a really, really pretty upper deck bar area that is just going to be great for the Sims to have a drink, enjoy the view, and just talk about their days. So I'm really excited for how this turns out. This right here is what the actual, layout will look more like going forward. So I kind of stick with this house look right here, but I do add a lower deck closer to the water so that they can access the beach a little bit easier, and they have some tanning area. So I know a lot of the balconies are shaded or will be shaded up top as well, but I wanted to have some sunny areas as well. So I add a lot of different dimensions when it comes to all of the outdoor areas that are available. And this video will be just the exterior, but it will be the main part, like the majority of this build is exterior. So this will be the longer video of the 2-part series. And the next one will just be finishing off the house, which will be the interior. And that one is already filmed and everything. I just need to do the voiceover for it. So watch for that one in the next couple days. But for now, we will get into the grit of the build. So now that I'm done with most of my layout, I really just wanted to go in and start, I start doing the layout inside as well a little bit, just so I have an idea of what I want to happen and where all the spaces are going to be located. And I try to put this staircase in, but I'd end up giving up and fixing it later because I really wanted to focus on the outside. So I kind of play around with that a lot. I really could not figure out a way for this staircase to look good in this house, positioned where it could be positioned. So I do some, magic and I make it look a lot better in the next video. But for right now, we're just leaving it there. So I kind of fill in all of the rooms and make some walls so that I have some divided spaces. And finish up some of the windows, which I kind of change a little bit when it gets to the interior, but most of them stay the same. So let's see what I do next. Oh yeah, I love that little awning over the top balcony door. I think I end up changing it though because I moved that door. I totally forgot. So in the next video, I will I might change the door later to be in the middle of the other side. Yep, there we go. So the door is going to be on the middle of that wall over there, and there'll be a really cool window right by the staircase leading up, which is where it'll end up being. But again, those views are just unbeatable of that like mountaintop, hilly, beachy side area on the across the way from the house, and I just really can't imagine a better view for our Sims to have on vacation. You just have so many, it's almost like there's like some coral reefs down there too in the water, which is super cool. So I'm really loving the island living pack so far. Definitely recommend it. Feel like it's a really fun way for your Sims to have just a different setting. It's very different from all the other worlds that we get in the base game, as well as some of the other ones you can even buy. But since I didn't want to get the wedding pack, which does have more of a tropical, like Greek feel to it, I've heard, I wanted to get the island living one first just because I feel like it was necessary to have, meaning there's some really cool build items in it, and just having the beach accessibility is life-changing for The Sims. Like, I haven't been able to go to the beach yet, which I haven't even play tested this house, but I think I'm going to do that after I film this. So I'm very excited to try out, going to the beach and what that will look like. So I had this idea for this bottom deck area off of the bathroom for it to be a little bit of like a tanning zone, You want some sun, you just go out there after your bath, get some sun, and then go back inside for a little bit. But I end up actually extending that whole lower deck out so it is the whole length of the house, meaning that you can get down from it from the dining room and from the bathroom. So there's lots of ways to get onto that deck, which I liked. I didn't really want it to just be through the bathroom, which is why I end up extending it. But I'm just kind of finishing up some of the doors and the windows that I still had to place, and just adding some little touches like these pillars and just some finishing touches to the exterior. And then we'll get more into the design of these spaces and what each of them will be used for. But I hope you guys are liking this build so far. Definitely subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And follow me over on my Instagram. It is Madziasims. And I will be posting updates on new videos, some inspiration pictures, especially the one that I used for this build. So go check that out. It'll be on my story or in my highlights tab it should be under the videos. Is usually where I put my inspiration pictures as well. But here I'm just going into some landscaping. I really like this kind of shrub bush. Like, it's like an island ground bush thing. But I really like it, and I'm definitely going to be using it a lot more. It just looks more natural than some of the other bushes do. And I feel like under the stilts, it just looks really good. So I add some more greenery to the back of the house on this corner of this is going to be kind of like the dining room, like an extension of the dining room. So the dining room is going to be right inside in the interior, but I wanted to add a deck out there with a table so that they could eat outside if they wanted to, and I'll also be adding a grill a little later on. But for now, I'm kind of moving over to the bathroom deck. So I thought maybe doing 2 baths would be the way to go. But I instead go for this really, really pretty looking bath that just fits perfectly in the space, especially when I put a rug underneath it. It just looks perfect, which I know it's not really like normal to have a rug under a bathtub. Like that's never ever gonna happen. But for the aesthetics of it, I feel like they look good under bathtubs, which I think I might add one, but I don't know now that I say that. Maybe I don't add I try to add a rug. Do I add a rug? It's a mystery, guys. I don't even know. Well, there's the grill. I know I added a grill. But I decided to add some, So I decided some different options for this balcony or this deck area, but I don't end up keeping that overhang. I end up using a divider wall later on, which I really like how that turns out. I feel like because of how much shade up top and, under the lower decks that you get, I wanted there to be more sun on the bottom deck. So that's why I changed it to just a wall instead of an overhang. But going back to the bathroom balcony area, I played around with some decorations and what I wanted for the lighting, but I really had a hard time figuring it out. But since I switched it to night, it gave me a little bit more of a perception on what the lighting would look like when it was nighttime. So I wanted to keep the lighting minimal on the bathroom area just because I feel like when you're taking a bath, you want to be relaxed and the lighting doesn't want to be too bright and harsh in your eyes. As well as I wanted to have some storage, but I didn't want like a cabinet or a bookshelf. So I added that marble stone wall that you see me putting some clutter on right now. And I just wanted to fill it with some stuff that would be in a bathroom. So just some accessories, that big jar, some books, which I love reading while I take a bath. So that was very realistic to my bath time routine. And obviously I had to add a plant in there, which I chose that one, which I think is so cute. And I did add some soaps, obviously, because it is a bathroom and it needed to have some more realistic looking clutter. So I add some sunscreen, some soaps, some plants, and it just looks really good in the final form. And then over here, I added a little bit of a gallery wall to the grill area and just wanted to make it look more lively over there. I do jump around a lot in this build, so I apologize. I actually made a voiceover before this and it didn't line up with my video for some reason, which is really odd. So I have to start all over, which is kind of upsetting, but it's okay. It happens. It's just part of the process. Sometimes things don't work and you just have to try again. But it's all about just learning and persevering through any editing obstacle you have, because I go through a lot of them. It happens. Stuff happens. But I really wanted to get this video out today for you guys. So I'm putting in the work, making it happen, and I really love how it turned out. Again, this is the first part, so definitely make sure to stay tuned for the second part of the series, which will be the interiors. And I'm really excited for the interior of this build. There'll be a workout room, there'll be an office, which could be used for if they had any work to get done, or even if they wanted to have a counseling session, especially for me. I know I love going to counseling and just getting the help that I need on my mind. Sometimes I have different, thinking habits that I shouldn't be having. And especially in relationships, I feel like having an outside perspective is really a good idea. So I added a kind of almost like a counseling session room on the second floor of this house to give the option. Now I know there's not that option in the Sims, but in reality, I thought it would be kind of cool to have a retreat area where they could really just work on starting their relationship off on the right foot and spending some quality time together, just talking through their relationship and their goals for their marriage, since they just got married. So I felt like that was a really meaningful room in this house that could be just used for a lot of growth and deep conversations for the newlyweds. So I add some columns up top and just continue to add some special touches to the exterior of this house. I really end up loving all of the little spaces that you can sit and just cozy up with your lover on this honeymoon trip. And this down like lower balcony area just looks so cozy. And those like lounge chairs, all of the lounge chairs on that look so comfy. So I wanted it to be very warm and welcoming, and that you could just sit down anywhere and just take in the view. So for the top balcony, I wanted to add some stuff for them to do. So I add some lounge chairs again, just for that view up top, because it's just unbeatable. But I do end up adding a bar up there and a tennis table and a chess table. So you'll see me kind of play around with some ideas on what I wanted to do, but that's what I end up with in the end. And I had a really hard time figuring out how to do these stairs. It would not work because of how small the lot was up front. Like, I did not have any space to spare with these stairs, so I had to kind of like bump it into the balcony up front, and I added some more greenery just to make it look a little bit more lush, and I added some flowers which just make it pop. So up next, I'm going to be just adding some clutter and decor, like that surfboard, which I've used the surfboard in other builds, but this one was the most fitting that I've used it in, obviously because they could just pick it up and go right in the ocean. But yeah, all the other builds that I've used it in, like, have been nowhere near the beach. So it's like, in my dreams, if there was like a surfer living in that house, they would have like their surfboard maybe hanging up. But I didn't get the last part of filming. As you can see, I kind of cut to a different section. But basically, I just added a table and chairs down there and some clutter on the table and finished out the bottom balcony. But like I said, up top here, I added a bar next to those chairs just so they could have a drink while they were enjoying their view. And then I added a chess table because it does, it's like something good for your Sims to do, especially to boost some of their skills and their logic. I think it's the logic skill. So I wanted to include some activities for them to do while they're on vacation. Changed the lighting up there to match the front and added one down below. Added some more pictures, as you can see, and a menu for the bar just so they could see all the drink options that were available. And I felt like maybe there was somebody here like that was living on the grounds as a resort manager. So maybe there would be like a bartender, a cook, a counselor, maybe there's a spa person that gives massages. I don't know. Some sort of like all-inclusive resort type vacation house. So that was kind of an idea I had as to why there was so many different like areas, like a bar and a gym. I thought they might have like a butler with them, you know? So they were like really rich. So there's those two activities up top, and then that finishes out the exterior. So as you can see, it all came together perfectly, and I really love how it turned out. Let me know if you like it in the comments below, and stay tuned for part 2 that will be coming in the next few days. I hope you guys have a great week, and I hope you like this build, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!